We are live, everybody. Welcome. Give you a little preview there. But yes, Eric with an A. I am still glamping 100%. This is glamping to the max. So I'll kind of probably talk about it tonight. But my name is Fancy Bearded, everyone that does not know me, and the gentleman below me here is the mayor. Mayor, how you doing?
Doing good. Last minute ran upstairs for a little jerky, as you saw. I know. And I feel like I was looking at the time. If you didn't start that at like 9 o'clock exactly, like the timer countdown, then I don't know. Because it was within a second or two if I'm looking at it.
I thought it was pretty good. I thought it wasn't even planned, just kind of spur of the moment. And welcome, everybody. This is Beard Advice Live. And if you are unfamiliar, this is a show where guys send in pictures of their beards. They tell us their problems, whether it's styling, trimming, goals, whatever they need. And we try to, as a community, try to give some perspective, some advice, and maybe help out a beard that's going on. And the mayor also mentioned one thing that is some of the other stuff that we do. So, Mayor, what else do we have going on Wednesdays?
Well, aside from the advice, we actually have some older customs than the advice.
Yeah.
We got our drink our dew, and we don't drink our Mountain Dew every day. Ooh. Is that what? I don't even know what that is.
Baja Punch. I busted it out, Mayor.
Dan, you're ambushing me live right now, and I don't know what. I don't even know what this is.
This is payback for the pineapple last week.
All right, fair. But what is it? Tell me, what's the flavor? What's the scent profile?
I think it's a play on Baja Blast, and it's with a blast of natural. It's Tropical Punch. So Tropical Punch. So I'm going to give that a shot tonight. It looks really good.
There's no way it's not good.
Yeah, It looks really, really good. And what flavor? I didn't catch yours. Sorry. The
Regular.
OG. Okay. All right.
Regular.
So, yeah.
And Betsy got it for me, and there was like a 5% in the back of my head. Is she gonna get diet? And I was gonna be okay with it, but she came through. And
That's
then our other tradition is beef jerky. And I know you're rocking Mingy, which you want to tell them a little bit about a 30-second update on the Mingy story?
Yeah. And real quick, guys, we will be back in studio together next week, and we have several new types of jerky that have never been consumed by us or on the channel. So I'm excited to bring those to the studio next week. One I picked up, and then the other was actually sent to us by Donald Long, one of the guys who sent into Beard Advice Live. Just a great dude, supporter. So if anybody ever wants to send jerky, we are more than welcome to accept and try it in studio and on stream. But Mingy, we've been supporters of for a long time. It's probably definitely my top 2 favorite jerky of all time. And I went to the store and I'd contacted them it was in February. So however many months, I was going to try and count, but however many months ago that is. And I said, do you guys have anything around here that I can pick up? And they're like, we're all over in Michigan in different speedways. Well, they weren't at our speedway. And then I went in the other day and magically sent the mayor a picture. They have a whole display of Mingy jerky now. That's halfway. The mayor and I are only about a mile or 2 apart, and it's halfway between our houses.
It's our neutral zone, so you're gonna be surprised, but I actually bought a couple and then ate them. You may not. So that's you to run out and grab me. So I got both of these are from Aldi. I got the Sims Original OG and some spicy garlic to give it a shot.
Ooh, spicy garlic does not sound bad.
And
now, is that beef jerky or biltong?
Jerky, artisan jerky. And I was gonna add about next week too. Something else cool. That's gonna be my birthday, literally.
Oh, snap.
It's 42, so it's been 2 years since I started any of this.
That's crazy.
I was go back to the beginning of the playlist I think it's still that show's still out there, isn't it, somewhere?
Yeah, yep.
Old Confused. I don't know. It was crazy. It's amazing where my beard journey literally has gone. So
yeah, no doubt. So we're gonna be consuming that. We'll be hanging out. I am camping. And we're going to make the best out of it. I got a ring light, got my setup, got the Wi-Fi here from the mayor, and it should be going really smoothly. So just sit back and relax. To start the show, we do have a special guest for the first time ever on this show. And this is someone that we've gotten to know. We know her husband as well, really well, actually, one of the moderators of our Facebook group. And this is someone who's contributed to the stream, contributed with unbelievable advice. And we just want to kind of spend a few minutes getting to know her and talking about kind of beard stuff. And we'll just get right into it. So I am going to bring in no other than Miss Molly McKay.
Hey guys. Hey. So happy
Welcome,
to be here.
Molly.
Thank you.
Yes. So thank you for being here. So we do have some questions planned, and then maybe we'll have some kind of freestyle after that where we just throw out some, what's up, Sam? Throw out some different questions and to try and get to know you. But I'm going to pass the ball to the mayor, not so I can just have some jerky and pop, but he's gonna take this over for a second.
First of all, Molly, thank you for doing this.
Thank you.
It's not. There's going to be things that surprise you, but your presence in our chat, we miss you when you're not here. The chat's going to miss you today, but maybe you can hang out later with us because
for sure.
But can you tell us a little bit about how did you end up here, like on a beard live stream? What kind of was the journey there?
I don't know. I guess so. Kinsman, started growing his beard and really got into it, and I would just hear in the background him watching these beard streams, watching all of Dan's videos, and I'm into hair and stuff. And so it just sounded interesting to me. And I generally, just like meeting new people. And so I just kind of started listening and then eventually worked my way into the chat and then eventually got to know, a lot of people and everything. And it's just fun. I look forward to it. Seriously, every Monday and Wednesday, I look forward to it. I get excited when I realize that it's Monday or Wednesday. So
that's so awesome to hear. Thank you. And to kind of piggyback on that, one thing that we found super valuable, and you'll be able to elaborate a little bit more, is that you had a background in is it barber school or?
No. So I started out at a cosmetology school called Paul Mitchell.
Oh, yep.
Mm-hmm. And I was there, and it's so cosmetology and barbering, it's two different licenses. A barber can do everything a cosmetologist can do, but a cosmetologist cannot do everything a barber can do. So barbering is honestly the better way to go. Barbering takes more hours. It's quite a bit more intensive and everything. But once I got into cosmetology school, I started realizing that I love doing men's haircuts and beard trims. And at cosmetology school, they were more so going over things like women's hair color, how to cut long women's hair, things like that. And so I wasn't really getting the training that I needed for barbering. I would have gotten my license and then had to do extra hours to get the barbering training and still wouldn't have gotten the training that I needed. So I left the school, took a little bit of time off. There wasn't really anywhere to go for barbering in my area. And then a barbering school opened up an hour away. So I do drive an hour there, an hour back. Every day I go to school because it's that worth it to me. And just on the road now and should be graduated in about a year.
Woo, that's awesome. And one of the big sticking points with barber school, because that requires so many hours, is the idea of having the ability to have a blade to the throat, right? Isn't that something where I was reading something crazy where it's like barber school in some states, the only thing that requires like more hours is like to be a doctor. It's like some places it requires more hours than nursing and all this stuff because of that aspect. It's
crazy. It really is. It's 1,000 hours of training that I'll have to go through. Right. And which I think it's even less for cosmetology, but they really want to drill it into your head and make sure you're doing the right thing because you're doing things like having a razor to somebody's throat, literally, which I haven't gotten to do yet, but I'm both excited and nervous. I did get to razor the back of somebody's neck, and that was fun, but we'll get there one day. But yeah, no, it takes a lot of training. It really does. And luckily my teacher, my instructor has been barbering for nearly 40 years.
Wow.
And he's been teaching for about 25 of those years. So I feel like I'm in good hands.
So
Like I'll learn the right way to do it.
where's it headed for you? What's the goal? What would be your dream?
So my goal would be to own my own shop, hands down.
I like
I've always wanted to be a business owner. I'm always tinkering with little side projects and trying to start little things here and there, and nothing's ever really stuck. But even when I was in cosmetology school, that's what when I thought that I wanted to go for cosmetology, that's what I was going for, is to hopefully one day open my own salon. So I would like to open a barber shop, something small, like super chill, just really casual, where men, feel like they can get off work, come hang out, get a haircut, get a hot towel, get a neck massage, all that good stuff. We visited a barber shop the other day, and it was funny because it was actually run by a woman, which is really refreshing to see. And she gave free beer at her shop. And I think that's something that I will probably do too, for anybody that wants that,
Like one free beer, right? 'Cause 5 free beers might be a problem.
We'll cut it off at some point. Yeah.
That's awesome. And before Mayor hits you with the next question, there's a good question in the chat here from Nikki. Molly, where are you from?
I am from Northwest Alabama. I'm originally from a town called Sheffield. You've probably never heard of it.
Nope.
Yeah, exactly. So we now live in a little city called Florence.
Okay.
It's one of the bigger cities, I guess, in Alabama, but it's definitely not like Birmingham or anything like that.
Cool. All right. Well,
Yeah.
the other thing we've got, from your perspective, what are the most important beard grooming habits from a female perspective? Because a bunch of us guys can sit around and talk about it, but we'd love to know what's most important that guys take care of with their beard, from your perspective. There's
several things, honestly. I hear Dan say this all the time, but I really truly believe this. If you're as far as grooming, if your beard is dirty, if you've been sweating, if you don't feel super fresh, wash your beard. It doesn't matter if it's every day. Transparency trims are really important. We women, at least me, I'm but one woman, but we notice things like transparency. Oil is a big, a big plus. I really have enjoyed that since Kenson started wearing the scented oils and stuff. He'll come and give me a good morning kiss or something, and it always smells so good. I could go on and on, honestly, but just it is attractive when a man takes care of himself, and
Yep.
it shows a sense of confidence in yourself when you take care of yourself. And more than anything, I think that's important, so just, go all out with it.
For sure.
Yeah.
Now, when you're in barber school, because I'm assuming they go over everything, like all different kinds of haircuts and fades and all that. When beards get brought up, is it kind of like you perk up, oh, this is my wheelhouse, this is my expertise?
Definitely, for sure. I actually told my instructor that I was going to be on here tonight, and he was really excited. So,
but cool.
Yeah, we haven't gotten to much beard stuff yet, but we've touched on some things. And yes, I do get very excited every time it comes up, for sure. But there will be a whole section of school that will have to do with shaving and how to trim a beard and all that stuff. And I'm really excited to get to that, for sure. Definitely.
Very cool. Because we hear all the horror stories of barber experiences, with the beard, where they have all these great reviews and then they just treat the beard in such a bad way. And it's man, having good barbers out there that people can trust to go to get a beard trim is so valuable.
And you know what? I honestly feel like being a part of this community and joining in on the streams and stuff is almost giving me a leg up on knowing what is preferred and what's not. Because, you go to school and you're taught to do things a certain way, and that might not necessarily be the best way to apply how to do a beard trim in real life,
Yep.
So yep. I feel like I've already got, my foot in the door with going in the right direction when I actually start doing beard trims. I promise to not, buzz anybody's mustache off or anything like that. So.
Make them keep
That's
a mask
good.
on one
Yeah,
side.
no, we're not going to do that. So.
Yeah. No, I can
don't
see
think
that.
so.
That's awesome. And I, like you said, I think the preferences, because you don't just hear from us, you hear from everybody in the chat, you hear
Right.
like the updates and what went well, what didn't well. Even if you weren't like consciously thinking about it, it's just got to be just soaking into you, which is so cool.
Definitely, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, fly in. We do have a new role for you, Molly. You're going to be our fly in, fly out barber. We're going to contract you and fly you to all these different locations.
Hey, I love to travel.
That'd be awesome.
We'll talk benefits later.
Sounds good.
All right, Mayor, do you have anything else for Molly?
Just, I want everybody in the chat to say thank you, because it takes a lot of guts to get up in front of like us, I think, especially I would assume from her perspective. You guys are always so nice. Say thank you for be polite, as I would tell my class of kids or whatever. I know that. And she's one of your own. You should be proud. And thank you, Molly, for being here.
Thank you guys for having me. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you. And a continued thank you for all that you add in with your comments and support. It obviously is not unnoticed. We really, really appreciate it. I know everybody else does too.
And there's Kinsman.
Hey, Kinsman.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you, Molly. Have a nice night.
All right, y'all too.
Bye. Awesome. So yeah, guys, in the chat, we were hoping to be able to put a face to the name, a personality to the advice, and I think it turned out fantastic to kind of get to know Molly. I could absolutely see this become something where we start to have people in for 10-minute blips in the future. So thank you guys for all the support, and everyone's so kind in the chat. And I agree. She did a great job. This is like her first time ever doing something like this, and it can be tough. I mean, there's pros that still get nervous for live streams. So if you guys enjoyed that, please hit a thumbs up on the chat. That is always appreciated. If you're on your phone, exit out of the live chat, come back in by hitting the thumbs up. And then if you're on your computer, just scroll down and you can get that taken care of. All right, Mayor. Should we hop into some advice?
Let's go. We got several this evening.
Yeah.
Gonna go through. I think we're going to help some people out.
Yes, and we will have a chance for questions, guys. We love to answer some of your questions and break down topics that you're in need of right now. And we'll even be able to talk about camping and stuff as it goes through. But a lot of you are here for that advice to see the before, the after, the perspective. So we want to get into that. I do have to say, though, this may snag a top 3 spot for best Mountain Dew of all time.
You don't think it's just the Baja? It's not the Baja name that you're just kind of jumping there. I think we all do. We all like that. Well, I do.
This is better than Baja Blast.
What?
Mm-hmm. I said it. The Baja Punch is better than the Baja Blast.
Wow.
Hey, Mr. Beardlaws, welcome on in. All right. So, and if anybody's coming in late, we did interview our resident stylist, our resident barber, our resident female perspective, Miss Molly McKay. You'd have to go back and watch from the start of the show. I think that was really cool. And yeah, as Leo said, best of wishes to your studies. She said she got about an hour. She's got about a year left. Super, super cool. All right. Let's go ahead and get into it, man.
Wait, this is Mike B. Mike says, I'm looking for some critiques, advice, and pointers. I had a mustache in junior high. Congratulations. And moved to the goatee for the last 30 years. Just recently started growing a beard and loving it. The wife loves a natural curl that is not a mass dent on my chin, so she loves it. Natural curl. I can hear Dan yelling at me. I have a bad habit of cutting off uncooperative hairs, and I know I shouldn't, but my OCD kicks in and I can't help it. I am working on it, though. My goal is to just let it grow until it stops growing. Dan, you've already given me some great advice on Instagram, on products, and wow, what a difference Whiskey and Hardtack made. Any advice you guys can give me would be greatly appreciated.
Absolutely. And a little shout out there to Whiskey and Hardtack. They are the sponsor this month of our Facebook group. So if you guys want to see what they have to offer, maybe there's a special deal involved, check out our Facebook group. There is a link in the description. We had a big push for members today. So if you guys are in there and you see some new faces, make sure you guys give them a warm welcome for us. All right, Mike B. So let's see what he's got going on here. Mike. All right, and we got one there, sir. Mayor always labels it. All right, get back. All right.
Yeah, they're all ones today.
Yep. Thank you. All right, Mike B, man, looking clean. Okay, so he did talk about that that natural wave in front of his chin, and he knew we would probably ask if it was a mask wave, so he kind of addressed that right away. And he's in here, so thank you, Mike, for being here. And Mayor, so are we looking for general advice? What was the specifics here that we're looking for?
Jump back over for me.
Okay, we're here.
So just kind of, I think it's just a general goal is to let it grow until it stops growing. I think when I saw this and I was thinking about it, he's got a very groomed style. And when he
for sure
kind of mentions the idea of letting it grow until it like terminal length or whatever, I think there's some things to talk about there, as far as you're going to have to lose that shape eventually.
Yeah.
And whether he wants to do that. That's what I was thinking. But I mean, it's beautifully, very highly manicured. You can tell very, very manicured. And the other thing is just to make sure that like when you set a goal like terminal length, there's several things in Mike's like description that said he likes it very manicured. In fact, he's hitting the flyaways. And I guess my question would be my suggestion would be to make sure that's what you want to go for, because you have an excellent beard as it stands.
Yeah, and I love the texture. I think he said his wife likes it. Molly likes it. I think that gives it really good character. I don't think that that's like a bad dip. I don't think that that's like anything. I think that's just a really cool texture to the beard that the front really is balanced out by some of the texture and waves on the S curls on the side. So for me, I would not address that one. I wouldn't change the wave at all. But if you want to keep going, it's pretty simple. We really got to let the sides go. I saw a couple people comment on that. I can tell that you're really trimming down the sideburns, which fit your current look right now is immaculate. It fits perfectly. I agree with Sam. Really solid glasses choice that fits your style. The bald and bearded really well. That's going on. But if you're going to go for it, where you're going to have to push your little comfort zone is going to be on these sides. The bottom will work itself out, and I think that's going to come in really nicely, and you can even kind of maintain that as it goes, because that's where a lot of the transparency is going to come from. So I'm not worried about the bottom, but the sides are where you're going to go through a phase of kind of growing that out, because I don't think it would be balanced if you grow longer and you don't have a little bit more volume and body on the side. So my advice would to be either maintain where you have it right now, because this is a wonderful beard, a wonderful style. But if you want to go for it, you're going to have to push it on the side a little bit. You don't got to get crazy, but you're going to have to push it on the side a little bit. He said, I've never trimmed anything other than flyaways. Man, that's wild. It seems like
his mustache. Yeah. Uh-oh, we just lose Dan a little bit. Yeah, Dan's frozen. So if nothing else, I would guess what Dan's going to go with is that mustache is incredibly nicely aligned. I mean, I don't know, maybe that's considered a flyaway too, but like I would definitely say that you are going like if it's growing like that immaculately, except for flyaways. Mike, in the chat, can you say, are you using just scissors? Are you using clippers to do that? I would be interested in knowing that, because take the back. I can't pop it up. I know Dan will be back. I take that back. I have trimmed the mustache, but she is really thick and the sides are very, very thin. So I would say they don't look thin to us at all. They look super manicured. But like Dan was kind of going into earlier, and if we jump out, we'll jump back, guys. I'm not sure. He's remote, as you guys know, so it's kind of sketchy. But as far as that goes, I would say continue to try to talk to yourself about those flyaways, because they are, those flyaways are like reaching out. We have a saying, fly away today, beard tomorrow, or something like that. And I would definitely say that they are, something that you'll have to get better about not touching them in order to kind of go full. But can I just say that you have an excellent beard right now, and I don't know if I'd touch it. Like, I mean, I don't know. I think you're doing excellent. You're doing very, very well.
All right. Thank you guys for patience. We're going to have possibly some ins and outs tonight, but the mayor will keep us trucking as we go through. All right.
All right,
Are
this
you
is
with
Paul.
Am I there, man? Okay.
This is Paul. Paul says, want to get some help on the beard, especially the cheeks and jawline. My neck hair grows up towards my face, meets my cheek and curls up and down at the jaw. I get a lot of curls and waves. I'm happy with my chin hair, but I feel like the cheek, neck, and sideburns could use some work.
Okay. All right. So cheek, neck, and sideburns. Let's see what we got going on for Paul. And as always, thank you to everybody that has sent in to make this show possible. Okay. Paul B. So when I read that description,
Right.
the next slide does not match what I thought was going to happen. Right. When I'm reading this and I hear someone talk about their cheek, their jawline, their sideburns, there's a lot of curls, a lot of waves. I'm preparing for the worst. I'm like, okay, this one might be a rough one that we're gonna have to we're gonna work it out. We're gonna give some advice, and then I switch over to this one right here, and that is as always with everybody, but that is a really, really well done beard. It was far above my expectations when I was reading that description.
Bit of a what you talking about moment.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So he said, he likes his chin. I agree. The color spectrum right there is so cool to see. And then he said he wants to work on his cheeks, his sideburns, and then did he say his underbeard?
Well, it was the thing
neck.
that I probably asked Dan about the most when I was starting was like that area you're talking about where the beard kind of curls underneath between the jaw, the neck, and all, and it just feels like wrong or whatever.
Yeah.
And you know what? It just kind of is. That's what it is. I don't know that, there is no perfect answer. I use scissors if it feels like it's getting too long and just kind of bring it back a little bit. Fortunately, with the length of your beard, you could do the same. I don't think it would make much of a difference if you did it right and you pulled that hair up and got in there. But man, I don't see any. I see an excellent beard, and I love the haircut.
Yeah, I agree, and I do agree. If you're giving me a perfect world, I'd go a little bit bigger with the mustache. But I do have to say, he has a very similar beard to yours, Mayor.
Yeah.
But on the side, a little bit more texture. That would be where the regular heated brush routine would kick in. And if he wanted to lay that down, Paul, you would get that accomplished. Oh, and he's right here. He said exactly right, Mayor. You would get that accomplished by really giving some consistent heat. And the Mayor's kind of touched on this before. A lot of people are afraid of heat, and they think that they're going to destroy their beard because they've heard this and that. And beards are really resilient as long as you're doing it correctly. And the Mayor is perfect proof of that. He uses a heated brush every day, every single day. He's using quality products before it, and he's doing it the right way, but he uses a heated brush every single day. So if you are looking for something a little bit more polished, I would really recommend dialing in that heat routine, because I really think you can get that bad boy on the side to kind of match the laying down on the front. But I don't, and I'm just saying that as kind of a different option. I don't hate the texture at all. I think it looks wonderful. This color is genuinely to die for. It looks so good.
And I don't know if you guys know that I like the heated brush, but sometimes I don't know. Sometimes guys, I think, try it, and then it's just either they leave it on too long, or something goes wrong the first time, and they kind of throw it out or set it aside and say it wasn't for me. I'm still like learning technique today. Like even like literally today, I was like, oh, well, okay, let's try it this way.
Yeah.
That's us guys. We're having this experience with the styling tools, things like that, and we're just catching up to people that are more familiar.
I couldn't agree more. There's so many guys that say, no, heat's not for me. And I'm like, oh, well, how'd you try it? How long did you try it? I used the heated brush once and it made my beard feel thin. Dude, you got to practice. You got to get technique. You got to try things. You got to really dial it. There's months and months of ways to really figure that out. So really give it a shot here. We do have a couple good suggestions. Molly says, I'd do a temple fade. So what a temple fade would be is kind of going down lower on this portion up here, which with his hair and how it tucks behind the ears, I could see that being an absolutely killer look to get that faded into the long hair. Molly, I would have never thought of that, but I really, really like that one. And then the other one that I really think is a great suggestion here is one of our moderators and best buddies, Doug Sloan. He says, maybe comb the sides vertically with heat instead of along the contour of the face. So exactly what he's doing there, or what he's talking about is, and I have a video on this, I forget the title of it, but instead of just going and combing like you would traditionally, taking that heat and going up, going sideways, going in different directions, and then finally laying it down. I think that is a fantastic piece of advice.
And I'm going to share what I was actually like talking about when I was like figuring things out today. Since your beard's so much like mine, similar, you do the heat in layers. Pull up and do these guys, then the middle, then the top, and give them each that little attention, because a lot of times the curly, the waves and things are really more about what's underneath and didn't get treated. But yeah, you've got a great beard. I think it would be a shame to see you get frustrated. So man, hang in there. It looks awesome.
And do you know who really loves that technique of doing heat in layers?
No,
is Molly and Kinsman.
Okay.
Kinsman was frustrated with his beard, and Molly, who we interviewed to start this show, suggested that he use his heat in different layers, in different sections.
Probably where I probably heard it.
Mm-hmm.
And and then I think I'm always doing that for Dan though. Like, remember I texted you, I was like, you ever tried like brushing conditioner through with a comb while it's still in your beard? And you're like, it's in like 44 shows. And I was like, oh, well, I heard it somewhere.
Yeah. And Leo has a great comment right here. This should be published. He said, learning is ongoing. Beards change, and your understanding of what to do also changes. Dude, that is perfectly said. Absolutely perfectly said. And I loved, I don't know if I know I highlighted it, but I don't know if I got a chance to say it. Dominic said, we are always our own worst critics, especially when it comes to beards. And it really is true. Yep, it really, really is true. Okay. Wait, Red 6 is leaving us on a cliffhanger. You said, I've been growing my beard and I really want to shave it off because you can't leave us hanging like that, man. You gotta let us know. You gotta let us know there. So awesome. And yeah, here's Kinsman. He said, that's totally true. She suggested the layer technique and it changed everything for me. Awesome. I'm actually gonna write down a little note here. I know the mayor. Oh yeah, here we go with Patrick.
All right, this is Patrick. Patrick is just looking for general advice. And I think we had some for him. If you want to click over, Dan, I'll start it out for you.
Thank you.
You betcha. All right. So Patrick, first of all, just kind of like a lot of times guys will throw in general advice, but if they're just looking for general advice, we take a look at it and we try to have some. For him, for you've got I like the haircut that stood out. I forgot what I was going to talk about. Okay. I think the mustache could just be like slightly, I don't know if you've trimmed it at all, but if you haven't, you could, make that just a little bit more deliberate, if that makes sense, just fuller a little bit, not too much. And as far as the beard, I love, your cheeks, you've got, it's just the lighting on the side picture, but you've got great fullness. You might consider, depending on the look you're going for, if you're going bigger, just go. But there is some area of cleanup that you could kind of consider, maybe on the underneath the ear, underneath down there. That's about all I see.
Yeah. So Patrick, I agree everything with the mayor said there. A lot of this would depend on your goals, and Patrick is here with us, so thanks for sending in, Patrick. If you can give a comment on anything to do with what your goal is, because that's going to determine a lot. You, especially that side beard, you kind of have a Viking style going on, which I think looks really cool. And your beard is definitely the biggest in the chin area, and it kind of tapers and gets shorter on the sides. So a lot will determine what you want as your goal, because if you want a kind of Viking style, keep doing what you're doing. You're crushing it. But if you want it to be a big, full beard, kind of similar to my style, we're going to have to even that out at some point by trimming down the chin area. And I do like this little tip here from Dan B. And I do think we have an opportunity to blend your sideburns up here into the haircut. Even if I don't even know if it has to be a full fade, which I think would look awesome. Even if we just clean up the sideburns right along the ear there. I'm a big proponent for for having clear distinction between your sideburns and your ear. I don't like when the hair goes over the ear. It bugs me when my sons have that. I would clean it up right along the edge there. I think that would be something that, okay. So he said he digs Scuba's beard. Okay. So Scuba's beard would be more along the lines of what you're going for right now, where you have the bigger pronounced chin, the shorter sides. You're at a great spot. You're probably due for a scuba trim, which essentially would be taking the clippers and going down the face of the beard really lightly and just cleaning up the edge of the beard. You do have a little bit of frizz, a little bit of flyaways, which is good to get to your goal. That's what you want. But you might want to consider going in and cleaning that up a little bit, because if you're going for the scuba beard, you're almost there. You just got to have a little bit more bringing it in, because yeah, you have a great start to it. Really, really good start to it. All right. And Clint says, for us bald bros, how to style sideburns seems like such a defined line. So there, Clint, man, that's the $1 million question. I hate to say that it comes down to personal preference, but it does come down to personal preference. You can do a bald fade where you take the guards and you just get smaller and smaller as it goes up towards your head. If you look up Dancy bearded, bald and bearded, there's a really good video on that can show you even more detail. But some people like to go with just a hard line and they just get, boom, they get a big beard there. If they have glasses, some people like to bring the line right up to where their glasses are. There's no right answer. There's no wrong answer. It's just personal preference, even though I would say the majority of guys like to have a nice fade where it goes from the bald, short, longer into their beard.
And just to add to that, personal preference or genetics, because sometimes there's other stuff, like you said with the glasses, that's not genetics, but if there's a coloring, all those things kind of fade in. But, genetics might dictate what your personal preference is, if that makes sense.
Yep, that's well said. So Red 6 completed, he said, because it's been growing, but the hair from the neck is growing faster than my cheeks. It looks good from the side, but not from the front. If your neck is growing faster than your cheeks, I would trim down and make it even along the way. It's clearly bothering you and it's something that's on your mind. If that's the case, if that area is going to grow faster, it's going to continue to grow faster. So you might as well trim it along the way as it grows.
So bring it back and wait for the guys to catch up.
Exactly. Yep. Your hair is going to grow in all different speeds, all different thicknesses. And so if you trim it while the others catch up, you're good to go there. All right, so let me see what we got here. And guys, I love when you guys have questions for each other in the chat and stuff. That is absolutely awesome. If you run out of beard wash and you need to use shampoo in a pinch a couple times, no, a couple times is totally fine, Mark. That's nothing to worry about. If you have like your normal like Dove head hair shampoo and you're on vacation, do it up, man. Don't have any guilt or worries of that. Now, if you're going to use that shampoo for 3 years straight, now you're probably going to have some issues, but if it's just a couple times, Mark, truly no worries at all. You don't need to go out and buy a beard wash or anything like that. A good solid option if you do want to get something that's decent for the beard is baby wash. Baby wash is not going to harm the beard. It's not the best, but it's definitely not going to hurt it. So that's one option that you can look at when you go through. And a lot of comments about the bald fade. That really, really good stuff. In perspective, like Leo says, I don't fade because my sides and my cheeks are weak. And that's, I think, the mayor's point exactly. He doesn't fade because of his genetics. Yep. Rodney says, I watched Dan's sideburn video and it helped me a lot. Awesome. Logan said, I've completely stopped fading my sideburns and I actually like how it's looking. Okay, good. Can I use beard balm without oil if any damages? Mr. Singh, I do not recommend that. The oil has a very specific job, the most important job, and that's to get to the skin. That's to get also to the hair to absorb in and seal. Balm cannot do that. As always, I do have a video on that. If you want to look up like beard butter only, that's a video that I have, and that will, again, continue to kind of build on that topic. But no, I would not advise just using beard balm. Do what works for you. Whatever you'd like is, of course, game. But if you're asking a question, I would not recommend that. Yep, I would not recommend that. All right. And remember, everyone, we're all here for the same reason. Let's remember to give everyone the benefit of the doubt. Thanks. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Sloan. And hold it down if you need to. I probably missed something, but I know Doug's got us handled.
You got it.
All right. Ready for next one, Mayor?
Ready.
Bam.
All right, this is Cody G. Cody says, so it seems like my beard has stopped growing. I'm going on over 2 years now, and I'm looking to get a nice long and full beard. Recently got a small trim, and it feels like my curls are affecting my growth. Any advice?
Okay. All right. Cody G. Let's see what he's got. Oh, okay. And Cody did send in a lot of pictures. So Cody, if you're out there, we just went with these pictures because I thought they had a good example of what to show. Sometimes people afterwards are like, oh, you didn't get those ones. This one I think does a really good job. So Merritt, this seems like your wheelhouse here. You want to kick us off?
So Cody, first of all, I think you've got a great beard. I think you're kind of a younger guy. One of the things I've learned through doing this is that you may not, get your full growth, like where the mustache or the under your chin area start filling in till your mid to late 30s or 40s, just depending on genetics, and that's a sliding scale. But you're doing great. As far as the curliness, I think it's interesting. Yeah, you're absolutely right. If your hair is textured as curly, you got to work like twice as hard. You got to grow twice as long sometimes. If you have a curly style, there's, and then it's going to be really amazing when you get there, but it takes longer. We see that a lot with like African-American texture hair. Those guys with those amazing beards, that's long. That's more time just because of the way the hair curls.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Spot on. So I agree with the mayor entirely. I think it looks good, man, especially that side profile. That's a great shot right there, and it just looks clean. I love the shape of it. Let me peek back at your post real quick. Yeah, just give it time, man. If recently got a small trim, it feels like my curls are affecting my growth. It's just, that's just the hand you're dealt. Don't worry about that at all. If your goal is to have this big, huge beard, as Dominic said, just let it go, man. If you stress over it, you worry over it, the only thing that's going to do is slow it down. So just simply keep enjoying the journey, man. You're doing great. All right. We're still there. You got me, Mayor?
I got you.
Okay. All right. So we got Caleb T.
All right. Caleb says, I'm 26 and this is my first time ever growing a beard. I've been growing a beard for about 4-ish months now. My chin is coming in nicely, but my cheeks are coming in slow. Any tips or tricks to help the cheeks come in fuller? Okay. And these are two similar ones where the guys are asking about their cheeks. And somebody did bring up the idea of, let me see where it's at here. They could try the peppermint oil. So, yeah, I do think for both of you, if you were really wanting to give it the best boost possible, you could try the video that I have about the mix of castor oil and peppermint oil. You could also maybe do a blend of castor oil, rice bran oil, and peppermint oil. That'll give you a shot to let it come in. But Caleb, he's asking specifically about the cheeks. Oftentimes, that is the slowest area to fill in with age. As guys get older, those cheeks really start to fill in their 30s, 40s, and 50s. So for that, I would just continue the good, healthy habits. I would continue to drink water, exercise, get all the right protein and food, and then use quality products. You can do things to kind of tip the needle in your direction a little bit. But there's not going to be any miracle other than kind of being patient here. One thing that does get brought up is the idea of derma rollers and also minoxidil, aka Rogaine, just using it on your face. For that one, I am no expert by any means. My experience is zero. I've never tried either of them. I don't plan on trying either of them. I do have a video with a guy who does use them, who does study them, and he gives his perspective. There are some risks involved, right? It's a drug, so it can have an impact on your heart. It can have an impact on other aspects. And the results seem to be hit or miss. Some guys, it is amazing, and they actually get new hair growth. Other guys, it does nothing. And then there's a small amount of people that there's some negative impacts. So it just seems to be what genetic card are you given? Which one is your luck? It's not something that I usually recommend. And somebody like Caleb, I would not recommend this. I think if you didn't point that out, I would not notice your cheeks. And that's me being honest and genuine. That doesn't stand out to me in a bad way at all. And we'll end with what you started with. I'm 26. You are just walking into, I hesitate to try anything, medication wise or anything like that. When really, the style that you can rock in your 20s, you might have be reaching a different goal or doing different things in your 30s, and then again in your 40s. It just depends. But I think you've got so much potential, especially at 26. I don't think I would have had a beard like that at 26.
Yeah. Yep. And he said, thank you guys so much. Appreciate the feedback. Definitely gives me some confidence that I'm not doing anything wrong. Not at all, man. You can tell it's a well put together, purposeful beard. Doug says, remember, rock what you got. Give it time. It looks fine. Give it time. And Donald asked a good question. What about derma rolling and castor oil, peppermint oil? So the idea of derma rolling is essentially like aerating your face. You know how you aerate your yard? Donald, I don't know the answer to that. I actually have absolutely no idea.
Well, I can tell you, if you derma roll and then you put peppermint in your face, it's not going to go well.
It's probably going to burn. Yeah, it's probably going to burn. So, nope, I don't know. And there are options. I would not recommend either of these, but they're options. If you decided to take off the sides entirely, your strongest part of your beard is your goatee region. So you could rock the heck out of a goatee. And in a similar idea is if you wanted to rock a Van Dyke, which is where you would essentially take off the cheek area, maybe bring down the beard a little bit on the sides. You'd still rock the sideburns right here. You'd still rock the prominent part of your beard. That's definitely an option. But again, I think you're on the right track. I think you're doing really, really well. As you said, everyone's talking about the age. That is legit. That is something that is a factor. And then Lance said, unless you're like me, try to grow a beard for the first time when you turn 50. And the mayor turned 40 when he started growing a beard for the first time. So, yeah, that's awesome. So Caleb, thank you. He said he's glad to know that he's on the right track. More so, man. You're doing great. And this is, again, when we had Molly on earlier, she said it's attractive when men clearly take care of themselves. And you can tell he's got a nice haircut. He's got a purposeful beard. So you're doing fine, man. Yep, absolutely fine. All right.
All right, this is Felipe. Or Philippe, whichever. I apologize if I...
Yeah.
We'll throw them both out there. Just finished my year last month and got my first trim. I liked it a lot, but since I'm 22 and graduating soon, I want to try as many styles as possible before shaving, if that dreaded day must come. I'm currently interning, so something more business would be great. I'm mostly just not sure what to do with the mustache. It feels like it's too long to get a twirl going, and I was really looking forward to the twirl since masks are gone now. And I put in red, I put the if the dreaded day must come because, it strikes a chord with a lot of us. He's kind of saying, I'm going to go look for a job, and I don't know if, is there going to be a stigma to my beard? And we've talked about that for we've always, that is a ongoing conversation with beards. Is why do we have that kind of cultural thing, and how do we get away from it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, absolutely. And guys, I do want to say this too before I forget. We had a lot of people in tonight, so if you sent in after like 5 o'clock today or 4 o'clock today, it's probably not going to be on the show tonight. Or if you sent in last week and had forgot pictures and we were messaging back and forth, it may not have gotten in on time today, but we will include everything next week, especially being back in the studio and me being back home. So just want to make sure we throw that out there. But all right, let's take a look at this 22-year-old beard. All right, 22-year-old beard here.
Boom.
Goodness.
And look at his fade. I wanted to talk to you, Dan, about his fade. Like, see, Dan and I haven't even seen you in 2 weeks. Look at that. Look at that. Like, he sent a lot of pictures in, but I pulled these two.
Yeah, no, I like it. I like the now much better than the first trim. This is one of those where it seems like the barber gets it done for a picture, and some barbers will even like airbrush and do different things. So for me personally, I'm not a fan of the super crispy line, the super crispy sides here. I like it a little bit more natural. I like how much bigger the mustache is right now. You are, truly doing fantastic. He talked about the curl, dude, the twirl, the curl, the mustache. I think that it's there. You are genetically gifted. We can tell that you take care of your beard. You are on the right track, man. I would leave it alone. Leave that mustache alone. Don't get too trim crazy. Mayor?
Tell him, I don't know if he knows, but tell him what a lazy walrus might be in the meantime, because some guys tend to think of the handlebars.
Yeah. So a lazy walrus would be blending this mustache a little bit more into the beard. As always, of course, I do have a video if you just look up Dan C. Bearded Lazy Walrus. But what you're going to do is you're going to take a heated brush and you're going to get that bad boy going to the side. And then really once it comes down to the beard, blend it into the beard. And what that allows you to do is have something purposeful, have something neat and clean, but it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be symmetrical. It doesn't have to be waxed. It's a perfect way along the way to get to a handlebar mustache. It bridges the gap between that kind of awkward phase of the mustache. But yeah, man, unbelievable genetics. You're killing it. You're killing it here. And you had legit, and early on in the show, we were worried about like flex beards and guys sending in to show off. This is not that. This is, you had some really good points to talk about where you had here of maybe that dreaded day to come. So thank you for adding in some really valuable content for us.
And you just want to hold on to that beard, and the guy that wants to hire you or gal because of the beard, that's the one you look at. I mean,
there you go.
You know, that was the whole point. Yeah. Well done.
Yep.
All right, this is Cory. Cory says, living in Arizona and being outside quite a bit, I'm trying to keep my beard moisturized throughout the day without going overboard. Oil directions usually say around 8 drops. I feel like I need to use the entire dropper at least. My beard never feels oily or greasy. And that's key. I use balm or butter in addition to. Sometimes it has a sheen in the sunlight, though 115 degrees plus tends to keep it from solidifying. Obviously, better in cooler weather. Should I fill a spray bottle with neutral oil and filtered water to use throughout the day? Pictures are just before leaving the house at 7:30. Any beard shaping suggestions would also be greatly appreciated.
Awesome. I love the detail
with
his questions, with the topics. Really good stuff. I'm interested to see what the beard looks like because he said that he feels like he needs to use an entire dropper for his length here. Okay. So, and I know the mayor kind of like did some nonverbal cues when he said that his beard did not feel greasy. That is the indicator. Some people's beards and skin absorb more than others. Some don't absorb at all, right? There's this thing called porosity with how much you can suck in the oil. That's what's really going to matter. Now, does your beard seem shorter for a full dropper? Yeah, that your beard seems more like a half dropper to a 3/4 dropper. But if your beard is not, hey, J. Cruz, if your beard is not feeling greasy, you're probably doing just fine. And when you do live in Arizona, I'm assuming that's dry heat. Dry is really tough on beards and the skin underneath, and you usually need to use more. In Michigan, we generally use more oil in the winter because it's a dry winter. In the summer, when it's more humid, we use a little bit less. So if you're out in Arizona, that could be tipping the scale to you using more oil. I don't see any issue with you using a full dropper there at all. And man, and we mention him on just about every show, but this is a Joel Hammond beard. This is one of our good buddies, one of our moderators. I love the shape on the side beard here. You can tell that it's thick, it's full. There's no transparency here. That color is absolutely epic, man. You're doing really, really well.
Yep, I agree. I just was curious myself. What about the oil and water mix stream?
Yeah, that's what I was coming back to see. That is not something I recommend, Cory. I never like to mix water with oil because you have the potential of it going rancid. You have the potential of building up mold. I would rather see you get your beard damp and then apply the products rather than trying to apply a mixture of the products. And that's just my personal opinion, my personal advice to you. There may be other people that tell you to mix it and apply it. But for me, that is something that I do not think is beneficial. Yep, I like to apply the moisture and then trap it in with the oil. So looks great though, Cory. Thank you for sending in. And I don't know if Cory's in here right now or not, but it looks really, really good. Really good. Cool. Anything else on that one, Mayor?
Nope. Thanks for sending in.
No, and I can see, Cory, in the future, you absolutely killing it on a bald and bearded. That day's probably not here for you yet. You still have some killer hair going on, but I could see in the future that when you have the the shape of your head, the shape of your beard, that's going to be a absolute beast of a bald and bearded. All right, we got Lance.
All right, so this is Lance. I just want to say hi to Jay Cruz. I just actually was listening. He was with Mr. and Mrs. Bluegrass earlier, and I loved listening to it. Like he has some great background, knew some movie stuff. I you know, as I get into this and I'm learning, I love to get in to listen to those guys. They were all talking about food that I'd never heard of, and it was great right before the stream. It was really cool. I can't wait. Hopefully I get to check it out again. All right, so this is Lance. Lance is a regular guy, so I put a new direction question mark on it. Lance says, several months ago, on my way to growing a beard, you gave me advice based on my goals at that time. Your advice was in essence to let it grow. You also suggested I get a round brush and use it to heat and curl it under like Greg Brzezinski does, helping to give the illusion of a denser beard. I reached my beard in April and had a couple of trims since, probably taking 1.5 inches to 2 inches off. I've decided I want to go shorter for now and would like any advice on where you might suggest the cut line should be. Not sure if the Mayer squint test will work for this one. My beard hair is thin and it is not very dense. I'm a little concerned if I take it too short, it will start doing goofy things like curling, getting waves, etc. I might want the length midway between my current length and what Greg Brzezinski has now. Again, if I went as short as what he has, I'm not sure it would lay well or style as well. I think, even though it's not very dense, it is likely denser than mine. Attached to the current pictures and even my attempts at where I think the line is for trimming may be. I may be taking another 1 to 2 inches of length from the current beard. You can thank me for wearing a dark shirt against a gray beard. Also attached is the Brzezinski picture. And what do you think? Anybody thoughts on his glasses? He was interested. I think he updated his glasses. So I took he actually drew in his own lines. So if we'll go over to a picture just on one slide, and what do we think of where he's kind of showing his ideas of where, and then I put Greg up in the corner just so we can kind of get an idea of that length.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely perfect. I think Lance is a regular watcher of the show, a regular contributor of the Facebook group, and probably just needed a little bit of confirmation to say, Lance, that looks exactly where I would draw the line. I would hate to see you go down to Greg's length because I think you do have such a good, thick, dense beard, such great color, very similar to his. And I love the rounded bottom of the beard there. I would not want you to do kind of like a triangle or a square beard. That rounded bottom, perfect line. I would not change a thing. And the glasses look great. I don't know much about glasses, but they seem to fit you really well.
And just to add for me, I would say that might be actually how long Greg's beard is, because he's done that, you know. And if you went with the line that you're thinking of, and then do that round brush tuck under a little bit to see what it looks like, you might be there, and you can kind of play with that and learn as you go. You doing good, Dan? Oh, okay. All right. Well, looks like he's you know, we don't quite have the Wi-Fi connection I think that we had last time. Oh, he's here twice. All right. Good?
Yep.
Good. It's the presentation, isn't it? It just kind of eats up the memory a little bit on the computer.
Yeah, it's just not great up here. My cell service is way worse. And then yours is doing great. So only 2 in an hour. I don't think that's too bad.
That's not bad. And maybe that's my chance to shine, right?
Yeah. All right. So where are we at? We moving on. You good?
I think so. We confirmed Lance what he's thinking.
Awesome. Thank you, Lance, for sending in, man. You're such a valuable member of this community. Kyle.
So this is Kyle. Kyle says, my first beard ever. I'm 15 months in and didn't think I'd make it more than 2 weeks, but thanks to your advice, here I am. I keep my mustache area pretty short because hair around my mouth drives me insane. Just looking for general advice. I try to keep my beard pretty vertical, almost cylindrical looking in the front, but towards the end of the day, it really fans out. Hi, Kyle.
All right. Thanks for being here, Kyle. And we'll keep going here. Okay. Kyle. So man, that's awesome to hear that he was doubting himself. He thought he wouldn't make it, and now he is here. And so I got the feedback on here. Is he just kind of just looking for just general advice, it seems?
Yeah. I have a personal reason I put Kyle in there too, because he mentioned the it's an excellent beard, but it does stand out that he's kind of keeping this area short, and he mentioned that. And I would just I wanted to kind of touch on the idea that if you can't stand that scratchiness, rather than always jumping to removing hair, let's talk about what other things could we do. Could we actually really try to get like a good beard conditioner, leave it on there for a good while, and kind of push past it? Because I'll tell you, I don't even now, Kyle, like I was you, like I was bugged me. I couldn't, I just thought about it, but eventually I learned, with conditioners and like, all that stuff, it's softened and it gets to a length. It's not going to get worse. Like you guys agree with that, right? There's some scratchy periods, but then it goes away rather than getting worse. And I just wanted to like kind of throw that out there for Kyle, something to think about.
Yeah. And I agree with Molly. The first time I saw this, I instantly knew this was a blowout beard. Now, let me explain what that is. So a blowout beard is something that I've talked about on this channel and had videos on for literally 2 to 3 years now. So this is something that I really, really believe in. And I would say blowout, but he said he wants to keep it slender. Yeah, I see what you're saying there, Logan. But Kyle, trust me here. All right, go with this. We want to get it out at least a little bit more on the side. So what you're going to do is you're going to get heat. You're going to get a blow dryer from underneath the beard. Your beard's probably a little bit too long to do this with a heated brush. So your option is really going to be a blow dryer. Get the heat from underneath your beard and get that beard and combing out and away from your face. We want to straighten it out a little bit, but really fill in these areas right here. And this is especially just kind of a play on your face shape. You got good defined lines right here. I don't even know what these are, cheekbones or whatever, where it comes out. You got really good defined cheekbones, and then your beard kind of goes down from there. We want to get it a little bit more proportional, a little bit more even. We're filling this area right here. If you could do that, it's going to really, really complement your beard, complement your face shape. We don't have to get it perfectly round. I could see you being worried about the bald and beard and like completely round there. We just want to get it a little bit more, just a little bit more body on the side. And I think that's going to go a long, long, long way for you. And if you don't see it now, give it a shot, practice, try a couple different techniques. Trust me on this. I got you. Trust me on this. I think you'll be very, very happy if you try that heat from underneath and blow it out, get the beard going away from you. If you just look up Dancy Bearded blowout beard, that can give you even more details on here. But as everybody said, you got a great, dense, thick beard. Let's just spread it out a little bit. It's all kind of compact into one spot. Yeah, let that flow go. Absolutely, Eric. I agree. So nice. Hey, Aronson at Culver's. We love Culver's. Love that.
You never say anything about my cheekbones. I mean, I don't take it personally or anything, but geez,
I'll work. I should work on that. You are.
That
you are
rang.
correct.
That just rang true. Did you guys see this shirt, by the way?
Oh, baby,
America.
Yes, Beauty and the Beard. MI. Let me toss a link in there for my beautiful wife. This is the same shirt I have on today. Sam took and I believe posted a picture. So right there, Beauty and the Beard. Peep that, guys. And Brian Carter says, am I sleeping? Blowout, baby. That's right. He heard like down the hallway, blowout beard. And Kyle said, thanks for the advice. I'll give it a shot tomorrow. Awesome. And Kyle, don't put all your eggs in one day's basket. What I mean by that is it may not be perfect tomorrow. You might not like it tomorrow, especially on days where you're not working, not going out, where you're not too worried about your beard. That's when you really dig in. That's when you really try different things. As well as SDC says, keep growing it. Once you get that body and volume going out a little bit, I genuinely think it's going to be an absolute game changer for you. It's really tight, really dense. Let it breathe. Let it go, right? Get that Elsa on. Release the beard. I like it, Slim. Well said. Well said. Okay. Who we got?
This is Jeff. An update from Jeff. It says, checking back in. I was in an episode in late January. I officially have reached a year now. I tried to take your advice and let the cheek line grow up. and let the stash grow. I have not had a trim at all, just letting it grow. Thinking it may be time for a trim. What do you guys think? I'm still trying to figure out where to go for a trim. I'm in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, but would drive 2 hours if I need to. Any advice would be appreciated.
Mayor, any thoughts of where he could drive to?
I would think that you could join our Facebook group and jump onto our beard barber map. And then, I don't know how Tuscaloosa, Molly doesn't have her, certification. I don't know. I'm not trying to put things together here and there, but yeah, for me. But first we got to take a look at the beard.
I know some barber schools you have to bring your own clients for practice. That's what Dave had to do and many others. So you have to bring people in and practice on them. I don't know if Molly needs practice beards, but I would trust Molly with my beard. All right, Jeff, let's see what we got here. Whew. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. I remember here. That's awesome. So is it the before on the right and then now is the after?
I believe that's correct. Yeah.
On the blue? Dude, absolutely. So look at this beard here on Jeff, you guys. Look at how he's got the bald head. Look at how the beard goes out and then really symmetrically comes back around. Kyle, that's exactly what I want your beard to do. Blow it out here, release it. All right, watching Kyle there. Boom. And Kyle, the good news is you have all the beard you need. That beard is just packed in there really tightly. Jeff, immaculate. The color is on fleek, as the kids would say. The bald to beard ratio and shape is unbelievable. Don't touch it. Don't trim. Don't style differently. Exactly. And here's Jeff right here. Jeff, exactly what you're doing. Continue that, please. That is a wonderful beard. Wonderful beard.
Sometimes we talk about looking intentional. And that's what kind of jumped out at me, with his update was if you're doing it really right, it doesn't have to be a sharp edge that makes it look intentional. Yep. That's what I'm talking about. Nice job.
And this is why we do this show right here, man. That's so cool to see that end result. So, man, I didn't do it, but it still brings me pride. It still brings me pride. So, yes, the latest beard, Jimbo, is going to be in the blue, right? So I'm almost positive that's in the blue there. So it looks awesome, man. Looks awesome. Keep it up, buddy.
All right, this is Jamie. Jamie says, so I'm fairly new to my beard growing journey. I still don't know exactly what route to take. I had one setback where the barbers took too much off the sides. In my opinion, it set me back a good month of growth. From the pictures, I would just wonder what you guys would do from here on out. Any help would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Okay, JP Woodwork, and he did not do this for this reason, but if you guys are into wood turning and woodworking, JP is my boy over in the UK, and he seriously has an oddly satisfying YouTube channel, some great work, and he's just a genuinely nice guy. So if you guys don't mind supporting JP Woodwork after the show, right now even, give his channel a look, subscribe, and go support a good bearded dude. Now, Mayor, is this our last scheduled one that we have?
2 more after this.
Okay, 2 more after this? Okay, perfect. All right. Jamie. All right. So he's pretty much said, I am new to bearding, right? And I just kind of want some advice on what you guys think for the beard. Yeah. So, Mayor, go ahead. What are your initial thoughts here for Mr. JP?
I think he's a little bit. He said he mentioned that he thought the barber set him back a little bit. He does have it's not super significant, but maybe when he mentions it, I can kind of see where you have the fullness. Kind of just makes it a little bit more angular or whatever you want to call it. But truly, I love the mustache. I love that there's a little bit of a different color and it's under the underlip. That's super unique and super cool. I think he's got a great beard. I think we might be dancing, depending on shape. Someday we want to look at a little transparency here, but I don't think I see it yet. And some of that could be shadows too.
No, I think you're on 100% here. First off, that is a legendary mustache, Jamie. That is the star of the show. That's Ron Burgundy. I love what you're doing with the mustache there. I don't know if you're going to be able to maintain it, which is tough. Sometimes you get a mustache to a point you want it, and trying to trim it to that point is like impossible. But where your mustache is at right now is absolutely legendary. But I do agree with the mare who was kind of flirting with it. And then we got Doug and we have Logan. I think we do need a small transparency trim just on your chin. Okay. So what's happening here is your sides are really well done. They lay down beautifully, but we do have a little bit more length in the chin that we want to take back a little bit. So this one's just going to be a very simple cut. It can be done with scissors or a trimmer. I would personally do a trimmer. The mare would probably do scissors. It's whatever you're more comfortable with. And yes, that hat does work as well. That is a perfect hat for you. So I would go in and just simply, JP, is you're just going to go, complete this line, right? You can see where your beard is here. And just, you can see just a little bit of the transparency there. Just, you can do the squint test. You can pretty much see on here. Hopefully this line will help you out. Just getting rid of that little bit of transparency. And then what that's going to do is it's not only cleaning up the transparency right now, it's also going to give your beard a chance the best way possible to grow in together, because your chin is likely your fastest grower. So if that is the case, the only thing that transparency is going to do is get more and more transparent. So as you trim it right now, it's going to do a great job of kind of growing back in together. Awesome. Yep. So thank you so much, JP. That's awesome, man.
This is Brad. Brad says, just looking for any general advice. I have to keep a short, medium beard for work. I usually trim with clippers every 6-ish weeks. With scissors, I trim every 2-ish weeks. My neck gets dense, and it is tough for me to trim with only scissors. That is why I use clippers ever so often. I basically scuba it, but with a guard on. My main complaint is the random white, wiry beard hairs. What are those and why?
Okay, I like it. Very specific question. All right, Brad. And hey, guys, first off, thank you for everybody being here tonight and hanging out, even with our camping setup and remote setup. Very, very cool. And Brad, I think, hey, JP, thanks, man. You didn't have to do that, but I appreciate that. Brad, first off, let me address the elephant in the room here. We went from one legendary mustache to another legendary mustache. My goodness gracious, my man. That is unbelievable right there. Unbelievable. Another one. That is just such a nice mustache. I use oil after the shower and butter at night. I use balm some days. I use a heated brush maybe once a week when I need it to look the most on point. Okay, so pretty much here he asked a very specific question, right? So his very specific question was, my main complaint is the random white wiry beard hairs. What are those and why? So what those are just gray hairs. When you get a gray hair, Brad, the reason you're saying that it feels wiry, it feels weird, different, it is different. The actual makeup, the actual structure of that hair is totally different than your other hairs. Just embrace it, my friend. I think it looks killer. I think the more like little salt that you get into that like kind of brown reddish beard, it's just going to make it look better and better and better. That looks awesome, man. Absolutely awesome. Don't worry about those little things at all. Now, the only bit of advice I would have to offer is on the side beard here, because you have your chin, which looks fantastic, right? Clearly right here. And then you have this section of beard right here. Now, this is kind of sticking out more than your chin. So, Brad, I know you're in the chat right now. If you could answer, he said, oh, no, yep, those are gray hairs, my friend, just straight up gray hairs. If you could answer this, Brad, what is your goal? Are you looking to go bigger, or did he say he has to maintain it for work?
Yeah, yep.
Okay, so, Brad, if you are going to maintain it for work, I would like to look at, just because of the side beard here, is look at taking this line right here straight back to the face. You got this little triangle part. And this is in the mare's wheelhouse as well. And Mare, hopefully you can touch on this. And this is where your neck kind of creases over. So when you look down, that hair is going to kind of bend over itself. This was like a big moment when we found that out with the mare, where we had to kind of figure out, like, what is that crease? How do we get through it? What do we do? And the way the mare attacked it was pretty much trimming into it. And I would love to see the same for you. So leave all this alone. Don't go back here, just right where this line is. Let's create that and go into your neck. You're going to get buzzers and literally just go and go right to the neck, straight line. And that's going to make it look a little bit better on the side profile and not take away anything from the front.
Yeah, his reminded me of me in some ways, because from the front, like these are the areas that are so difficult, like for us, because if you're like, I just saw, your mustache is maybe a little better than mine, but other than that, I know that you're like dialed in and you have a kind of a good 6-week, 2-week routine and everything like that. And these are hard. That was the other thing, is that there is no, you just have to figure out. I use scissors when I do mine. I just kind of actually like guide it right into the hair. Just be careful, but just to take some of the thickness and fullness out. But the clippers probably would do faster and more even. I don't know why I tend to do scissors so much. But,
yeah, and it's what you're comfortable with, and that's important here. Mr. Votto is exactly right. When he was on here early, he was actually a thumbnail of ours for a while. It was because he did that exact trim. And Lance is spot on as always. It could be the neck. It is the neck. It's how his neck is bending. Now, if he grows it out a little bit longer, solved. But I don't know if he is able to grow it out longer because of his work or because of his preferences. So yeah, if you can grow it out longer, do it. Done. No problem at all. If you can't, I would look at going with that line. And Leo has another great comment. He says, when you go straight in, do a little at a time. Yes. And do not use a guard. 100%. If you're doing that line into the chin, you cannot use a guard. That's more for the body and the face of the beard. You need to go straight into the neck. Hey, Bearded Sons, welcome on in. So he said, yep, my neck grows faster for sure. And I can tell that it really looks thick and dense down there. Brad, I would just, if you want to maintain this look, which is truly epic, I would just look to continue to kind of maintain that neck part of the beard, which is a good problem to have. A great, great problem to have there. Awesome. All right, you good on that one, Mayor?
Good.
Okay. Our last one tonight.
All right, this is John B. He says, first off, it's been so long. I wanted to thank you guys for advice you've given me before. So I've recently had a transition to being a stay-at-home dad because my wife was diagnosed with cancer. It's been tough trying to stay positive. Watching on Mondays and Wednesdays really helped. I'm currently struggling to see what to do with my beard, and I rarely get to shower and wash my beard, as I rarely get to. So I resorted to wetting it and adding oil after. Please, any advice and all advice is welcome to see what you guys think I should do. Thanks again for the support and everyday possible. First of all, John, from Dan and I both, like, we're there for you. We love that we're kind of supporting you through this difficult time. Everybody has those things, but it doesn't make them any easier. I love that we do something for you. So Dan, I kind of saw this as like a, on Battlefield, they have like triage. And when you don't have the time, like camping, for example, to do everything for your beard, what are the essentials and how do you go about it when you don't have as much time?
Absolutely. And yeah, everything, John, that the mayor said there, man, nothing but support coming from us, positive vibes. Okay. All right. So thank you again, John, for sending in, man. You've got a really thick, really dense beard, looking awesome. And so he's essentially, Mayor, what you're saying is he's saying, I don't get a chance to do everything because of time, because of the family and helping everything out. What is the essentials? So, John, I would say the two essentials, right, to keep your beard healthy and looking great with as minimal of opportunities as possible is one, and you can do both of these in the sink. And I know the mayor has done all of these in the sink. One is we want to wash your beard. You want to get a beard wash. You want to get a bar soap wash, a beard shampoo bar, something that's going to last you a long time. You don't have to worry too much about it. Get the beard wet and then wash it in the sink. I think actually in their video, the mayor's beard routine video, he does it in the sink. So that doesn't have to take place with a shower. And then once you have it rinsed out, you want to have oil in afterwards. Again, does not require a shower. Other than that, my friend, don't worry about it. Is butter a nice add-on? Yes. Is conditioner a nice add-on? Yes. Are either of those necessary for your beard to be healthy? Absolutely not. But oil and wash are going to be the two most important things that you can continue to do. Once you get through this, once the wife healthy, once everybody is back and you're ready to roll, hey, then we could look at some styling things and give you advice on whatever you need down the road. But right now, wash and oil are going to be the two biggest things that you can worry about, other than all the support. And as Molly said, a virtual hug coming from this entire group heading towards you.
Absolutely. Yeah, I just was curious, actually, Dan, what you would say. Like, it just kind of, I thought we could help them out, and it is good to know what are for the health, just overall health without styling as much of a factor. What do you got to do? So I appreciate, yeah.
Yep, absolutely. And John, I would recommend a comb. You can use whatever comb is going to work the best for you. I actually bought a comb from Walmart today. I think I'm going to make a video about it. Oh, and this is JPB. If you guys probably often hear me refer to JPB here. So JPB, thank you. I bought a $1.99 comb from Walmart. Why? Because I thought I had set out the Chicago comb number 8, and I did not. And Sam forgot to, which is my fault because I didn't put it out. But we use the Chicago comb carbon fiber number 8 for my beard, for our kids' hair, and for Sam's hair when we're camping. And that bad boy's left back at home about 4 hours away. So I went to Walmart and said, let's find the best comb possible. I found one. It's working really well. You don't have to go anything crazy. It was literally $1.99 at Walmart. So I think I'm going to make a video on that, kind of like the best comb you can get at Walmart when you're in a pinch, or if you just want a comb that's a really solid one for $2. There's options out there. It's not like we're pushing any company or saying you got to have this or that. You can make it work. You can absolutely make it work there. So yeah, John, again, man, you got a great beard. Keep it healthy. Don't worry about your beard. You have other aspects of your life that deserve that attention and that focus. And yeah, absolutely. Molly says, can we talk about how sweet his smile is? 100%. 100%, man. And yes, my beard is blowing in the wind. It's pretty windy here. We got some decent wind, and I think it's gonna, like I said, storm over the next couple of days as well too. So it'll be even windier here. All right, I do with the Chicago comb. Oh, you're good then, JPB, man. You're good. Wash and oil, and yes, you can literally do that in the shower. No worries there at all. Awesome. What a show, man. First off, thanks, Molly, for being on here. If you guys came in late and missed it, the first about 10, 15 minutes is setting up the show and then interviewing Molly. I highly recommend you guys go get to know her a little bit more and hear about that. And then we had some really different beards, some epic mustaches, some really cool advice, some great updates. Sincerely thank you to everyone that sends in. Thank you to everybody in the chat that's hanging out, that contributes. Thank you to the people that just watch and enjoy the show. You don't have to comment. You don't have to add in advice. And thank you to Mayor for always making this a priority. I don't know if you guys know, it's tough, especially during summer and life going on, to make a show a priority and not miss. So this is huge for me. And again, just a huge thank you to everybody. All right, Mayor, got anything to sign them off with?
Closing comments. Next week, join us. We're going to be back in studio. Who knows what else is going to happen? It's going to be
right.
We're going to have a good chill time. Yeah, I don't know.
Yep.
Sorry. It'll be like our 2-year show, not all the way through, but kind of that'll be fun. So,
anniversary.
Right.
And it is, guys. It is the Mayor's birthday next Wednesday, so please don't miss it. New jerky. We'll do. I'm probably gonna have to make sure we get some of this Baja Punch because it is fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And the little laundry keep it. If you guys have not had a chance to watch my video from today, it's only 5 minutes, and I do think it can be pretty helpful and borderline entertaining. So if you guys could give that a view, that would be greatly appreciated. And also, if you guys can check out our Facebook group. We put a lot of work into this, whether it's our mods, who are Kinsman, Bill, and Phil. And Kinsman is Molly's husband. And the Mayor. The Mayor is a content maniac. He puts out exclusive stuff you can only find in the group, whether it's videos, whether it's posts, all sorts of stuff. We have a question of the day every day. So if you guys haven't, give that group a look. We do put a lot into it, and we're very proud of it, just as we are with this show as well. All right? So everybody, thank you. Everyone have a nice week. Have a nice weekend, and we will see you on the Mayor's birthday in 1 week.